Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another live show, Coffee with Mickey, episode 21. We would love to have you here every time, and I am desperately waiting every week to hear back more and more questions from you guys. Today, we'd like to welcome our new association with Torrens University, and I would like to extend our warmest thanks and regards to Matt White from Torrens University to spare his time and come and have a chat with me today on this show, Coffee with Mickey. Thank you, Matt.
Alright, thanks, Mickey.
Thanks for coming by. And guys, as you all know about Torrens University, Australia, it's on a level 1 university and American Challenge Network University. So they've got campuses, universities in different parts of the world, as well as in Australia. So a few locations here in Australia. Matt, what are the locations that we are having in Australia? So our viewers know if they are in that part of Australia, so it'll be more interest to them.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have campuses in Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, but of course, most importantly, here in beautiful Brisbane. We have the two campuses here, the health campus and the overall campus looking over the Story Bridge.
Wow. If you have been living in Brisbane, you cannot miss out on the Torrens campus. As soon as you're about to get onto the Story Bridge, you just cannot miss the campus, can you?
River views.
Yeah,
amazing.
Absolute amazing. So Torrens University, huge billboard right on the entrance of Story Bridge, and every time I go past it, you can't miss it. Everybody knows about Torrens University and the famous and popular courses that they offer. So we will be discussing in a short bit about the courses and the scholarships that they are offering in their master's, bachelor's, and postgraduate courses, most of them, and MPhil and PhD courses as well. So Torrens has been delivering these courses for how long now, Matt, in your higher education sector?
The higher education sector is 7 years now.
7 years, Torrens University. Wow. It feels like a long time, but it hasn't. They've been around all these ages, 7 years now, and we are finally here with Torrens University to discuss about the courses, and especially for our clients out there in Sri Lanka. We have managed a new association with Torrens to cater to our Sri Lankan clients, students who have graduated or had national diplomas, or maybe have finished their A-levels recently. You're more than welcome to apply for Torrens University, and the scholarship not just applied to students in Australia, but it will also be applied to students applying from offshore.
Correct.
Sri Lanka would be offered the same scholarship. So we look forward to more and more queries regarding Torrens University scholarships and the courses that we are offering here. So we'll give you a brief about Torrens University, and we would like to welcome them on board with Sirus Migration. So Matt will give us some information on Torrens University Australia. Matt, if you don't mind talking about the university and letting our viewers know exactly where they're going to be placing themselves for their future study prospects.
Absolutely.
Australia. Thank you, Matt.
So, as you well know, Torrens is one of the newest universities in Australia, but it's also the fastest growing university in Australia. And I think a lot of that can be put down to the way we deliver our courses, where we're being quite flexible, but also the content of the courses itself as well. So it's written by industry for industry, so we make sure we teach relevant content for all our programs. But even during a pandemic, we still had over 19,000 students join us in 2020.
Wow, that's a huge number.
That is, but
during the pandemic.
During the pandemic, but
19,000 new students.
We also keep things very personal as well. So every single student has access to a success coach at Torrens University. So individual to coach students on choosing the correct subjects and how to present themselves to industry.
Yes.
We've had over 95% hospitality graduate employment rate throughout our school, Blue Mountains. 90% retention rate for international students. I think this is
that's huge.
A pretty important keynote. As you know, learning in another language can be quite difficult and quite daunting. But we want to make sure we take that personalised approach to make sure students don't only start studying at Torrance, but they want to stay at Torrance and reach their goals. And this next point is huge. 3,600 industry contacts, industry placements for almost every single undergraduate program. There's some optional choices for postgraduate program. Like I said, our courses need to be relevant to industry, but also almost as important as the degree is the experience and the placement, so that you can have that on your resume. So we have a dedicated team to help with this process.
Not just the resume, guys. This is very, very important when we talk about industry placements. And if you go for industry placements, most of the times the employers who are giving you placements, I've seen that in many cases, they end up offering you a job for the future after you finish your placement, because they've already taught you everything. If you're good at what you're doing, they would not let you go. And if you find a job, you will definitely find a permanent pathway in Australia. There's nothing stopping you from staying here on a permanent visa if you found yourself a job in Australia. And if Torrance can show you a way how to find a placement and how to secure your job, there's nothing better than doing that after you finish your education in Australia. What do you say?
Absolutely. I find students find it hard to find the time to go out and do that internship and that placement. That's why we make it a subject. So it's typically in the third year for most courses. Yeah. Of course, nursing and other programs have.
So it is a part of your course curriculum. Correct. So the last semester they go out and
prove it.
They go on an industry placement, so they don't have to come to campus or study.
There's obviously assessments that go with that to make sure that they're doing relevant industry consulting. So it's called the Industry Consulting Project, typically is the subject, where students are going out and doing some sort of internship or work integrated project to make sure they not only learn the theory behind the skills, but they have the practical application as well.
Wow. How does your course curriculum works as compared to the pathway for the students when they are studying at Torrance? Do they have to go to campus nowadays, or are the exams, or is it assignment based? How do the students study at Torrens University?
Of course. We're a firm believer in assessments.
Yeah.
Now, of course, some programs like your Bachelor of Commerce and Accounting, there's exams.
There's exams.
Because it has to be exams. But we find assessments are a much more practical approach.
Of course.
Because it's not just about what you can remember during the test. It's about what you've learned during the course and how to apply it, and that independent thinking that should be associated with higher education. But there's great flexibility. As we know, students can study 30% online on student visas. But we do have a lot of subjects online that students can choose, and we have quite flexible timetables as well. So we have day and night classes that students can choose from depending on subject availability. So
very flexible, guys. Torrens University, one of the most flexible university for international students when it comes to study load, and I think you have a trimester system instead of the semester system in Australia, where you only end up taking a lesser load. We say in your trimester you only start with 3 subjects at a time instead of 4 with most of the universities. Is that correct?
That's correct. So typically in most universities you might do 4 subjects a semester.
Yeah.
Working on 3 trimester just gives you a bit of break in between each study load, so it's a bit of mental rest. But also, you're right, students will choose 3 subjects in their first trimester. But in the second trimester and the third trimester, they can choose either 2 or 3 subjects, as long as they complete 8 subjects every 3 trimester as part of a student visa obligation.
Yeah.
So if maybe in your second trimester you're going to be quite busy, then choose 2 subjects.
Oh, you can.
Correct, and then choose 3 in your third. As long as you complete 8 subjects every 3 trimesters, you do have that flexibility, and you only pay for the subjects you do that as you enroll into them. So if you know there's going to be financial strain in a trimester, choose 2 subjects. But as long as you complete 8 every 3 trimesters.
What else do you want? You got flexibility with your subjects, with your assessment base. You can study at your own pace. You can study 30% online. If you are offshore and you apply for a Torrens University admission and you get your student visa granted, you still have an option to study offshore online till the time you actually come to Australia and the borders open up. And don't forget, there's up to 35% scholarship available right now for Torrens University, but not including the Bachelor's of Nursing. But of course, it is also applicable to the Diploma of Nursing. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah. So why study in Australia? Matt, would you please guide our international students?
Well, I might be a little bit biased because I'm Australian.
Yes. Fair enough.
But look, Australia is a very friendly place, and it's a great location for study. It has absolutely beautiful scenery. It's one of the best experiences you could possibly imagine. But obviously Australia, you can earn money whilst you're studying at the same time, so the Australian government is quite generous to allow students to work 20 hours per week or 40 hours per fortnight, and obviously some full-time options during study breaks. Look, we have 5 out of the 30 best student cities in the world are in Australia, including every location there's a Torrens campus.
So we are in Adelaide, Melbourne, Sydney, and 2 in Brisbane.
And well, we actually have a few campuses in each location.
Oh, do you?
We do.
Yeah, all right. That's good. You know, I can see there's another one, Blue Mountains, which is your associate college.
Correct.
Okay, so likewise, you've got other campuses. They're not just in Australia, but they come out of America, I guess. You know, Torrens University originated with another name association in USA, and then they've moved to Australia.
That's right.
7 years ago, and they've been progressing really, really well. So we talk about international scholarships for international students, whether you are in Australia or you applying out of Sri Lanka, which we have an association with Torrens University to apply for. International scholarships are available, and they go up to 35%.
Correct.
Except for the Bachelor's of Nursing, but Diploma of Nursing, yes, you can. And we were just talking about earlier how somebody comes out of the Diploma of Nursing, they might have access to Bachelor's of Nursing scholarship as well, being an alumni
scholarship.
Yeah.
And that's not just necessarily for the Diploma of Nursing to the Bachelor of Nursing, but of course that's a very popular one for students to complete the diploma first, work as an enrolled nurse before they go on and do their registered nurse course as well. So it does create more opportunities. But even our undergraduate students going to postgrad, or any student who studied at Torrens before, can apply for an alumni scholarship. So of course we want to support our current and our ex-students as well.
So all our students out there who are not in a huge rush to become a registered nurse, this is the pathway to become a registered nurse. You enroll into a Diploma of Nursing. What I can see here, after the scholarship, I did some maths while sitting here. So the Diploma of Nursing is a 1.5 year program.
That's
approximately. And the Bachelor's of Nursing, if you do Bachelor's of Nursing after finishing your Diploma of Nursing, is 2 years. So you end up spending 3.5 years in becoming a registered nurse instead of the 3 year program that is the regular program in Australia for a registered nurse. Number one, this is actually a very efficient way and a cheaper way of doing it when you spend the extra 6 months. Number one, you end up paying only $20,260 for the whole course of Diploma of Nursing if you get the scholarship, and you enroll yourself into a Diploma of Nursing, and you finish the Diploma of Nursing in approximately 1.5 years, and then you roll on to the Bachelor's of Nursing for 2 years, and you will get eligible for additional 25% scholarship when you're enrolling yourself from a diploma to a bachelor's. This is also applicable to current Torrens University students who are already studying there at Torrens University, and you might be graduating soon. So you can always come back and study a Diploma of Nursing or a Bachelor's of Nursing, and you will also get a scholarship towards Bachelor's of Nursing. Is that
that's right?
the
So
right
previous
words
Torrens graduate
I am using? So you are a previous Torrens graduate. If you are graduating this year and you want to start Bachelor's of Nursing next year.
Yeah, well, we have an intake still in September. For the Diploma of Nursing. And students who either have credits from another nursing program or have completed a Diploma of Nursing, they can start the Bachelor of Nursing in September as well.
Wow. September intake, guys, and also Matt is gonna help us discuss credit transfer for Bachelors of Nursing from other universities. If somebody's studying interstate or in another university and they are looking to move cities and come study in Brisbane, there are a few circumstances where the student is studying in Rockhampton or Cairns or somewhere and they want to move to Brisbane because of their family circumstances or anything. So what do you have for these students who have already completed a 1 or 2 semester in Bachelors of Nursing? Are they eligible to come and study at Torrance and use their credit?
Yes, they are. So we recognise credit transfers from any APRA-approved course.
Yeah.
So if it's an APRA-approved course, then you can get credits into that Bachelor of Nursing. So that would be a Diploma of Nursing, Bachelor of Nursing, or similar type of course.
Thank you very
as
much.
well.
There you go. So you got approved just now to go for a credit transfer from one university to another into Torrens University. So that is an option if you're looking for a transfer of your course from one city to another, for example.
I think it's important as well when students are applying for credit transfer that they should know that we don't charge upfront for an application, or we don't charge to apply for RPL. So if students are unsure, they can put their application in and find out, and then making a nice and informed decision as well.
Absolutely. It's about time for have our guest Matt White from Torrens University to help us draw the winner of my last week's riddle. So Matt, what I usually do is every week I post a riddle on our Facebook page, and all the correct answers for the riddle usually goes into a draw like this we have today. All our winners, but the lucky winner is going to be drawn very soon for a $100 gift voucher and a free consultation with one of our staff members here. So Matt, if you could please assist us draw the winner for that $100, that'll be great. And announce the name for a lucky draw winner today.
All right.
Thank you.
I hope you're listening. Sonam Gounder.
Sonam Gounder. Sonam, congratulations. You are the lucky winner for a $100 gift voucher that can be sent to you. If you are already here in Australia, that'll be super awesome. And please get in touch with us on Facebook page or through our website or email address. And if you don't know the answer, Mario, can we show them how it works? So you gotta just look upside down. So the correct answer was 87 for this riddle today. And Sonam, you have answered that correctly, and congratulations once again. Okay, so getting back to our topic with Torrens University, lastly we would like to discuss the most popular and the famous courses from Matt White at Torrens University and the fees that the student is going to be paying after the scholarship is applied, up to 35% scholarship, guys. Matt, what are your most popular courses at Torrens that you would like to discuss with our viewers today to encourage them to apply for Torrens University?
Absolutely. Well, we spoke a little bit about nursing. Nursing is very popular. We are filling up spaces very quickly.
Right.
So for any listeners out there who is thinking about having a career in nursing, it's best to get in touch with the Sirus Migration as quick as you can to talk about your options and see which scholarships you can apply for.
Yeah.
But as we mentioned, up to 35% available as well. So of course that includes placements in the nursing program. So you can do a Diploma of Nursing leading to a Bachelor, or for those who are interested in September, they can apply for a Bachelor if they have credits. But of course there's another intake commencing in February, so just
February next year, 2022.
Yeah.
So if you're offshore, you might be looking at February 2022. Hopefully we'll have the borders open by then and you can travel to Australia. And if you're not able to travel in February, you have an option to study online, or in worst circumstances you can probably defer one trimester and come back in May 2022.
Absolutely. But some of the other programs, particularly in business space, seems to be very popular in the Brisbane campus. So some of the postgraduate programs, which seems to be the most popular, is our MBA Advanced. It is listed as the one of the most value for money MBAs in Australia. So that's quite progressive. I think. Also our Masters of Public Health and our Masters of Global Project Management are definitely the three most popular. But the great thing about Torrens, we spoke about flexibility, is with these particular programs, you can actually take a bit of each of the programs and have a dual Masters. So, as you know, Masters Advanced, so 2-year Masters, which is pretty important for after study options, is 16 subjects. But what we can do is we can take 8 subjects from an MBA, 8 from project management, put them together, and you have a dual Masters of Business and Project Management. So it's just as important as the other in that space. And public health with business. So as we know, public health is more important than ever right now.
It is.
Looking at the different health components of a society and how to implement strategy, but mixing that with business as well.
Yes.
It definitely creates some great employability outcomes.
It is. Think about the future, guys. We didn't know this was going to happen, the pandemic, and it has changed the whole scenario of the education system and how people think of the future. So use your imagination, have a dual degree. You never know what's going to be next.
Exactly. And you know, business economics is adapting.
Yes.
So why not have a qualification in multiple fields, just to make your resume more diverse and give you more employment options as well. And of course, talking to our success coaches during your study, talk about what options you can have for future employment as well. Our Masters of Business Information Systems. This is a hugely popular course. It's filling up again very quickly. But you know, data analytics is one of the fastest growing areas.
It is.
Not just in Australia, but globally as well. So to have a degree to understand how to use data in a business space, it's absolutely massive field with endless opportunities. So
it is. ICT Business Analyst is one of the outcomes of these courses, which I was discussing with Isuru Yapa, our migration agent, the other day, and how that could lead to a permanent pathway as well in Australia. So these courses, master courses, MBA, MBIS, and project management, guys, you're looking at starting this course in Australia from anywhere to after the scholarship. We're looking at about $23,000 a year, and depending on how much scholarship you are offered. So if you're on a top level scholarship, you would not be paying more than $23,000 approximately.
Yeah, looking at roughly $25,000 worth of savings.
Yeah, $25,000 worth of savings. So one trimester fee is the upfront fee you have to pay in order to get a confirmation of enrollment to apply for your visa. Are there any special promotions or offers on offshore students at the moment?
There is. So there are scholarships available for our offshore students as well. And we do have quite a large offshore student base as well. So we know obviously it's hard, more than possible to come to Australia at the moment. But we do know that borders will open, and the Australian government is supportive of students who are studying offshore at the moment, and so is Torrens as well. So we are issuing COEs for student visas for students studying offshore. There are scholarship options available. Some students might have a hard time for the English side of things because they wanted to do PT or IELTS in Australia. And we do have our University Language Centre where students can start online right now from onshore or offshore and actually start their English program to gain straight pathways, or they can start studying from offshore as well. We have offered subjects online since Torrens' inception. So we know what we're doing when it comes to the online space. We want to make sure it's immersive and interactive and engaging for students, but we also are aware that students might want scholarships from offshore, so we've made sure they're available. We treat our offshore students like our onshore students.
Isn't that amazing, guys? So if we'll be really quick now, we don't have much time left on the show. I know Matt is busy and he's got to head back to the university and recruit and enroll more and more students, coming in every day towards Torrens University to grab and hold on to that scholarship that is currently available for September intake. So if you are in Australia and you're looking at any of these courses, we'll just quickly go through Masters of Business Information System, Nursing, Public Health, MBA Advanced, Masters of Project Management, Masters of Engineering Management, which is an interesting course. So if you have done Bachelors of Engineering in your home country and you're looking for a master's course in engineering. So Torrance offers Masters of Engineering Management at pretty much the same price of $13,000 to $14,000 a semester. Is that going to be semester-wise, or trimester? Is going to be even less load. So you're looking at about $23,000 to $24,000 a year, to be precise. And then the other options we have is a bachelor's course. Bachelor's of Business Information System is also available at Torrance. So if you have just come out of your high school, you could apply for a few bachelor degrees. They've got Bachelor's of Business, Bachelor's of Sports Management, Bachelor's of Commerce, and Bachelor's of Business Information System, one of the most popular courses. And before we go, we will not ignore those students who have already completed a master's degree in their home country or in Australia. So, Matt, if we can quickly discuss about MPhil and PhD, because I know that for a fact that when you apply for MPhil or a PhD course in Australia, you get full-time work rights being an international student. So you could be eligible to work full-time. At the same time, you'll be working minimum of, you could be working 40 hours a week and studying 20 hours. And after the scholarship, there's this MPhil and PhD is starting from approximately $16,000 a year, which is an absolutely amazing price for a PhD degree and MPhil. So, Matt, if you could quickly let us viewers know about this course and how they can go about this Master's by Research course at Torrens University.
Absolutely. So, as you mentioned, we have the Masters, which is a 2-year program, or the PhD, which is a 3-year program.
Okay.
Research is very important to us, especially in social enterprise.
Yeah.
And we'd love to see how we can support research students. So the best way to look at this is by writing a proposal. And look, students may be unsure if they want to do a Masters of Philosophy or a PhD. And students who do start the Masters after the first year can even look at transferring what they've completed so far into a PhD.
Okay.
So we do, again, want to be quite flexible. Students might find they want to do additional research and the project is bigger than they think.
Absolutely.
As well. So research obviously is just a starting base, and once you get into it, they're going to be a whole different beast by the end.
And that's an amazing price to do a Master's by Research, guys. Yeah, it's unbelievable price. Too good to be true. $16,000 a year instead of spending about $20,000 to $25,000 a semester.
Correct. So there's different scholarships available, and the best thing to do is talk to the team at Sirus Migration about which scholarships you can be eligible for and how to apply for them.
Yeah. And what are we looking at a turnaround time if somebody is interested in this course? Actually finding a supervisor and hoping offer letter, 4-5 weeks?
Yeah, I wouldn't expect a turnaround time in 24 hours.
No,
when it comes to our research, it can take a bit over a month for that to be assessed properly. We take our research very seriously. We take your research very seriously, so we want to make sure we've the appropriate supervisor at the location to make sure that you can be successful.
So if you are in Australia and your visa is expiring soon and you want to do a research program with Torrens University, don't wait till the last moment and come back to me and say, hey, Mickey, can you enroll me in Masters of Research? My visa is expiring next week. Please don't do that. They need more time for you to assess your application and do a full assessment on your research program. It's complex, but it's possible. So if you are looking to enroll yourself into a research program or a PhD, get in touch with our office and we will be more than happy to assist you. We won't keep Matt over here talking too long. If you have any questions about today's discussion about Torrens University, guys, please feel free to put your comments in the comment section below, and we will answer to your questions either today or tomorrow or during this week as soon as we can get back to you. Please try to direct message us with your contact phone number. It's easier for us to get back to you straight away. We can give you a call and discuss of booking an appointment, a free consultation with one of our staff members here. If you don't leave your phone contact number, then we keep chasing you again and again and trying to get in touch with you, which gets a little bit harder for us to answer your questions or book an appointment for you, or even leave your email address if possible in a direct message so we can send you an email. If you have any questions about Torrens University or the scholarships or the next intakes available, or if you want to discuss about the course, Matt has been really helpful. He can even come over the phone and talk to you guys in a conference call with us and answer your queries very, very quickly. And I would like to thank Matt White from Torrens University for joining me here today, and it was a great pleasure to have him here, and we're looking forward to this partnership for a long-term future. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Miki. Thank you, everyone, for listening.